Yo, what is going on, Vulcan Turtle family? I hope you all having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be looking at a deck that's seeing all sorts of competitive play across the country, maybe even the world, after Ian Robb's second placement at NAIC. I've been seeing it at local challenges, and I gotta say, it's a really fun, interesting deck. I've got friends that are playing it themselves, and it is a really cool list. So sit back and relax as we talk about Arceus, Duraludon, Umbreon. So Arceus VSTAR is a card that we have featured on the channel quite a bit because it is extremely good. It's very splashable in a lot of lists. In fact, in our last video, our PAL EX video, we had a 1-1 line of Arceus VSTAR in that list simply because it is good. Not only is it a fantastic attacker with Trinity Nova, being able to do 200, 180 with a DTE, and then accelerate a bunch of energies all over the place to your V Pokemon, you also have Starbirth, which is such a great ability. It's a nice extension because you're able to just grab whatever you need in order to go into further plays. It is such a good ability. So Arceus VSTAR is obviously one of the main pieces of this deck. You want to start with it and you want to be able to attack with it on turn 2 so you can build up your secondary attackers. Well, what are those attackers? Well, we have Umbreon VMAX in this list at 2 copies with its V form at 2 copies. It is a extremely good card. Now, it has Dark Signal for its ability, which is basically a boss's orders on a Pokemon, which is super good because it allows you to play something like Iono or play something like Professor's Research and still have a boss option for later. And boss's orders isn't exactly searchable except for, like, you know, Starbirth in this type of deck, but Umbreon VMAX is very much searchable with Ultra Ball, so that way you can use Dark Signal whenever you want. So it's a really good attack, or a really good ability, and it does have a decent attack as well with Max Darkness. It does 160. It makes a lot of certain matchups a little bit more manageable, like against Gardevoir. You can, you know, boss out the Gardevoir EX with Dark Signal and then Max Darkness it for a KO. So you're able to actually like make some of those harder matchups a little bit easier thanks to your advantage being a Dark type. You also have Duraludon VMAX in here at 2 copies. Now, if you're not familiar with the reign of Duraludon VMAX, this is a card that a lot of people were actually scared of for a little while, but it kind of fell off, and now it's back. It's a Durademon type of season, and it's an extremely good card. It has an amazing ability called Skyscraper. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by the attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy. Now, this used to be an extremely relevant ability because Lugia V-Star used to run the scene, and it only plays a special energy until they started splashing in things like Urshifu, but Urshifu doesn't really matter too much in this matchup anymore thanks to being able to boss things out with Umbreon. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And you do have a really good attack, a G-Max Pulverization, 220 damage, and it's not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So what does that mean? Well, Pokemon like Miltank and Pokemon like Mimikyu have these abilities that say, hey, we cannot be damaged by Vs and EXs. Well, Miltank is just Vs, and Mimikyu, the spiritual successor, is Vs and EXs. So this just ignores that altogether and attacks into them for a KO. It doesn't matter to Duraludon. He doesn't care. He will just eat right through those types of Pokemon all day long. So Duraludon VMAX at a 2-2 line as well. We also have a Spiritomb in here, so that way we make certain matchups a little bit easier. You can make Mew maybe just a little bit easier, but you also are able to turn off things like Lumineon, which is really good. We also have Alakazam in here, so that way we can Painful Spoon some, you know, damage over from one Pokemon to another. It's probably the best Radiant Pokemon to have in this list because you're not doing a whole bunch of damage. Your max output is actually 220 damage, but you can move some damage counters around and be able to set up a huge KO or just make it so you can get a KO in places where you normally wouldn't. We also have 1 copy of Lumineon in here for that consistency, and that is literally the Pokemon. It is very straightforward. Build them up with Arceus and tear them down with Duraludon and boss them out with Umbreon. It is an extremely efficient list at what it does. Now, the trainer cards are also extremely simple. We have 4 copies of Escape, or 1 copy of Escape Rope, sorry, 1 copy of Escape Rope to pivot out of certain situations. We do have 4 copies of Nest Ball. We have 1 copy of Switch, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and 3 copies of Lost City. Now, Lost City is actually an extremely important card in this list, and I'll explain why. Lost City is the one card that's going to make a lot of those Lost Box matchups a lot more manageable, right? Now, most Lost Box decks don't have the ability to just OHKO Pokemon left and right, like Duraludon VMAX and your Umbreon and your Arceus. None of these Pokemon really get knocked out in one hit by any Pokemon in Lost Box unless they're playing certain typing that can take that kind of one-hit KO. But they like to spread damage around so they can get KOs left and kind of like pick them up where they see them, right? With Lost City, you can actually remove some of those threats from the board. Yes, you're building them up to 10 pretty easily, but with Lost City, you're able to just simply throw them into the Lost Zone. So Sableye is gone. Cards like Kyogre, if they put it down, you can, you know, Dark Signal them out and take them out if they think that they're safe. You know, it's a very good card to have in this type of list. We also have 1 copy of Path to the Peak in here just to be a little bit more disruptive against some of those V ability type decks. We also have Adventurer's Discovery in here. Adventurer's Discovery is a really good card in this list because you are able to search for any V Pokemon. And since the majority of the Pokemon that you play in this deck are V besides Spiritomb and Alakazam, you're able to find 3 of any of those Pokemon with efficiency. It's a really good card to have it too, in my opinion. I like it a lot. And Adventurer's Discovery can also technically turn into a Boss's Orders. We do play 3 Boss's Orders, but with 2 Adventurer's Discovery, if we have like Umbreon V's on the bench, we can go get ourselves a couple of Umbreon VMAX evolve 1, and it essentially becomes a Boss's Orders. And 3 Boss's Orders. We have 4 copies of Iono here. Disruption is extremely important, and having 4 copies of Iono in here feels really good because being able to disrupt your opponent is a very strong thing to do, especially if you're behind. So 4 copies of Iono just seems good. Also 1 copy of Judge. Again, it's that disruption factor. We do have 2 copies of Research. This is probably one of the best draw supporters in the game. You just discard your hand, draw 7, so that way you keep a fresh hand every time you play a Professor's Research. A really good card here. And 1 copy of Raihan. Sometimes you do end up in the position where you're going to like put Arceus in the active and you have to bench an Arceus and then a Duraludon, right? Well, if the Arceus in the active gets knocked out and let's say it has an energy, or if the Arceus on the bench gets boss KO'd and it had an energy on it, you're going to be in a pretty rough spot when it comes to actually getting built up. But with 1 Raihan, you're able to take that energy from the discard pile, accelerate onto Arceus, search for Arceus V-Star, Starbirth for the double turbo and anything else that you might need, and you're back on track, which is super good. And 1 copy of Choice Belt in here. Now, I said your max output is 220, but with a Choice Belt against Vs, you could do 250 damage with something like Duraludon, which is pretty nice. You're able to make sure that you're taking KOs with Umbreon VMAX as well, because there are some Pokemon like Lumineon that do have 170 HP, and with Umbreon, you are swinging 160. Now, for the energy, 4 copies of Double Turbo, 4 copies of Darkness Energy, 2 copies of Fighting, and 4 copies of Steel. So that is the list. We are going to jump into a game right away. All right, guys, so here we go into our game with Arceus, Duraludon, Umbreon, Dumbreon. There's got to be a better name for it out there than the mouthful that I'm spewing right now, right? There's got to be some genius. Please in the comments, let me know what people are calling this deck like legitimately, because I keep hearing Dura, Umbreon, Dumbreon. There's a lot that like this list gets called, but please let me know in the comments what this list, like what you would name this list to be a little less of a mouthful. This is not a good hand at all. I'm going to start with the Alakazam because that Lumineon is kind of nice to have right now. And we're up against Mew. Okay, so Mew can be a little bit of a struggle, but so long as we play this just right, we do have Spiritomb, we have a Path. There's a couple of ways that we can actually disrupt our opponent here and make sure that we are, you know, doing okay. Another Boss's Orders is not great, though, in my opinion. That is not a good card to have in hand right now. Looks like we are 100% going to Iono and hope that we get 2 Arceuses on the bench. Maybe even get a Spiritomb down would be nice as well. So we'll see what happens. They might even just, like, not attach anything onto the Genesect. Now, Genesect can start drawing when they have a Fusion Strike energy on them with Spiritomb in play. That is something that we don't want to see, but if our opponent doesn't think we're playing anything crazy like that and we're not playing Spiritomb, they might avoid actually putting these on the Genesect, which it's fine with me. I'm cool with it. Like, I'm not going to complain if they do that. And a Lost City. Okay, so we're not playing our own Lost City. No, no, no. That is not happening today, but that is fine. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that I can, like, legitimately do is play this Iono, huh? That is it. I mean, top deck could be something. It could be like a Nest Ball, could be an Ultra Ball. Like, there's a few things that we could get off the top deck, but Iono is definitely the supporter for the turn. We don't want to throw away, like, the Umbreon and the boss's orders too early. It just doesn't feel good. Yeah, they are popping off. This is what a Mew deck wants to do on turn 1. Just draw through everything, get everything all set up, like, good to go. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for them. We'll see, though. They didn't attach an energy for the turn. That is the one thing that I think that they would want to do. No, they don't get there. Okay. Well, it sucks to Iono them at this point then, because, yeah, I mean, they didn't attach an energy, so they might get it next turn. We'll find out, though. So we did get an Arceus, and we got literally nothing else. So that is unfortunate. We're just going to have to put the Arceus V down and pray that they don't, like, boss KO it. If they do, we're going to have to scoop it up and then, like, yo, what is going on over here? Yo, what is this? Wait, what is this? Why is this happening? Why is my top deck on top of my... What is... It's floating. Okay. I guess that's what we're doing today. I guess that's how we're going to act. That is fine. Not a big deal. It also sucks, too, that we didn't get an attach for the turn, because now it's just like... Arceus is just chilling. We can't even, like, Trinity Nova next turn if we wanted to. And there's a path. Interesting choice, honestly. Now they can't draw. I don't know why they would do that. I honestly don't know. Maybe we Iono them into junk. Like, they just don't have anything? I don't know why they put this path down. And I'm also very curious to see, like, what card we draw here. Like, what's gonna... No! Leave my Arceus alone! You better not be able to get a KO here. Oh, okay, they pass. They actually just kind of helped me out then. Yo, what is... So this card is no longer playable, I assume? I'm going to judge. It's just floating there. Am I not allowed to play with that card? Okay, we have a Duraludon and we have a double turbo now. We can Trinity Charge. So we are not, like, going to be able to Trinity Nova. But we do have Trinity Charge at our disposal, which is nice. So yeah, we're just going to attach everything to the Duraludon. We are sitting at top deck mode. Okay, it fixed itself. We get our card back. Like, guys, it is back in the deck. Whew, thank goodness. Who knows what that could have been. That was scary. I thought it was like, I got my card banned for some reason. Okay, Fusion Strike Energy going on to the Mew. That is fine. They might actually be stuck. Like, the path to the peak might be hurting them. They did get a Forest Seal Stone, so they could go get something to get rid of that pretty easily. But imagine if they didn't, bro. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. And there's an Elisa Sparkle. Let's see where they actually put this down, because if we can put a Spiritomb in play, it would be nice, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no. If we get a Spiritomb, that's going to be absolutely dope. Yo, wait, they're not drawing. Oh my god, why didn't they Forest Seal Stone for something like a Vacuum or anything else? Now they're in top deck. I mean, they're going to get 2 prizes here, but whoa, why? Wait, are they going to get 2 prizes here? They're not going to get 2 prizes here. They pathed themselves out. Bro, that's hilarious. That is actually funny. Okay, I'm going to put my Arceus down. I want to get damage on the board, but, like, I feel like it's just better to keep Trinity charging at this point. We'll build up this Arceus V-Star. Like, this Arceus V's done at this point. Like, it's done its job. There's nothing else I need it to do. Okay, okay. Starting to feel good. Another Forest Seal Stone. Unfortunate, because they literally already used their Forest Seal Stone, so... Yikes. That's actually not good for them. They need to be able to, like, bump this path to the peak. We also need a good top deck as well. Like, we need to be able to, like, draw. We have no draw support right now. I'm going to come up with the Arceus. Now, they are going to get 2 prizes here, and that might help them out. Umbreon doesn't do anything for me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna Trinity Nova here. We're just going to do that. And we're not going to accelerate any energies. We're not going to do that. So let's see if their two prizes actually save them here. I'm curious to find out. In Ultra Ball, you know what? Technically, yeah. I mean, kind of it does help because now they can retreat into the Mew and attack with it. So technically speaking, that did kind of save them because they probably would have like had to lose this 3 prizer next turn. So that works out. That works out pretty well. Okay, so yeah, 190 damage here onto our Arceus V-Star. A little sad about that, but you know what? Dude, Lumineon doesn't help us either, though. It doesn't help us at all. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna Trinity Nova. Okay, well, that's fine, I suppose. Next turn, we can, like, Breaking Sweep 140 and knock out a Mew VMAX. Like, that, we can do that for sure. Yeah, that's probably all we can do unless we top deck something good. Couldn't even get a Starbirth off, which is unfortunate. Yo, boss's orders? Chill. Okay, so we are going to be able to get a KO still. Unless they, okay, yeah, they're just going to 190 us. Very well. That is fine. They 190. Are they using Technoblast? Did they not Technoblast last time? Oh, they must be using, Melodious Echo. Okay, well, Breaking Sweep, I suppose. Don't have much else of an option. So we will take our 3 prizes here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got a research, so we're going to be able to at least do something next turn. And we got an Ultra Ball, which is nice. I think what I'll do is I'll Ultra Ball for an Umbreon. Yeah, I think I'm going to Ultra Ball for an Umbreon. Ooh, they could Psychic Leap here. They could Psychic Leap for a KO here, which would be bad for us. But at the same time, it's like, there's nothing else they could do. Yeah, they have to Psychic Leap here. So what are they going to offer for sacrifice? Who's going to be the sacrificial lamb? Genesect. Okay. We actually do get a KO on Genesect because we don't have double turbo, so that is fine. Oh, but you know what? Our Arceus is kind of messed up too. Our Arceus is pretty messed up. It does make me question what we should do. Okay, let's get an Umbreon. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get an Umbreon here. We can attach double turbo. But then we're only doing 140, which doesn't feel good. I don't want my opponent to be able to attack me next turn. Okay, I'm going to actually research, which sucks because we lose that Umbreon. I was hoping to get an energy here. We did not find an energy, but we did get a Spiritomb, which is nice. And I can play Lost City now, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that because now that we have the Spiritomb down, we're fine. We can play Starbirth. Okay, this is feeling a lot better. So with that, we can grab ourselves a Dark Energy and a double turbo. Actually, we should probably grab... we can Mean Look something and then they can't retreat. Maybe we grab the Escape Rope. Or no, you know what? Let's grab the double turbo. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. I don't want to get a knockout this turn because I don't want them to be able to, like, KO my Arceus because that just feels bad. We lose at that point, which we don't want to have happen. So I'm just going to get myself all prepped up here, and then we will Mean Look for 60. And then next turn, we can Adventurous Discovery. We'll be able to get ourselves an Umbreon VMAX. And with that, we can boss out, like, the Mew. So we'll be pretty much chilling at this point. So that's what we need to do. That's the game plan here. Now, because we have the Spiritomb down and they wasted, like, they played their Elisa Sparkle earlier and they did, like, Cleansing Gloves. Okay. Yeah, they played an Elisa Sparkle earlier, which kind of hurt them because then they didn't put it, like, on the Genesect, although they did Psychic Leap to Fusion Strike Energy back into the deck. Okay, let's grab ourselves an Umbreon VMAX. And is there even anything else I want to grab at this point? Probably not, huh? I mean, we can thin the deck out a little bit. None of these guys matter at this point. So we will go ahead and use Umbreon VMAX here. Dark Signal out the Mew V. Attach a double turbo. And we can... Do we even need to, like, Painful Spoons? No, we don't need to do that. We'll just max Darkness here for 340 damage. Taking a KO on Mew V. So now no Mew VMAX is a threat. That is pretty good for us. And we're only one prize card remaining. So we will most likely just be able to KO whatever they throw at us. There's Meloetta. Melodious Echo is not going to help them out much. So yeah, Spiritomb here in the late game kind of really helped out because with such a small hand size, it felt good getting rid of their path. And they had already used one of their Elisa Sparkles. So honestly, like, this was probably like as golden as it could get for Spiritomb. And they're going to scoop. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that they could legitimately do. So even with a bad start, this deck can just pop off. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do plan on changing up the format of how I present these videos here soon. I'm working on some editing skills and I'm trying to like figure things out. And I'm going to be talking to some people that have experience in that realm. So that way you guys get presented something fresh, something nice, something different here on the channel that still comes across pretty educationally, where you're gonna understand what we're trying to convey and see the deck list in full while we give a very decent but brief explanation on how it works. So hopefully like I can get that up and running here soon. I don't want to put a date on it because I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to be able to pull that off, and with practice, I'll be able to consistently do it more, but I will put out a test video soon so you guys can tell me if you prefer that format over this one. But that is enough of that. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this deck, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. We're very, very close to just growing this family into something that I never imagined. Like, it's already at that point, but like, we're almost at 600, even though we just hit 500, which is crazy. So it's like, you know, I never thought that would happen, but thank you guys for that. Truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it means the most to me. So thank you. And until next time, stay safe and be kind.